It's 9 a.m. Saturday morning, September 27th. You're doing lines with the Let's Not Do This podcast. You got the big O, Leon Oliver, sitting alongside two of the unwisest men in America as we get you ready for an action-packed, big, massive weekend of college football. Plus NFL Week 4. We got upsets potentially all across this great land of ours. We got Ryder Cup golf going on right now as well. Not going so well for our American friends here, but we'll talk about that another day in another time. But we already had some upsets. We already had some fireworks last night in Charlottesville. The Virginia Cavaliers celebrating another win over Florida State, getting the win there in double overtime. I'll start with our requisite Virginia fan, Chris Green. Sir, how are you? Are you riding high on sleep, coffee, cigarettes, or adrenaline? What are we doing?
I've had 2 coffees this morning. I got a sweet tea right here. I already popped the Zen. I smoked about 12 cigarettes this morning. I am exhausted, but what a win. What a great feeling last night was. Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay. Was this a multi-Zen win as a Virginia fan?
Well, usually I only Zen at work because I can't smoke while I'm filling prescriptions. So, but I got one in because I am exhausted, but we're good. We're having fun.
Nice. Virginia getting the win there in double overtime over Florida State. And I got to tell you, too, it did piss me off the fact that we couldn't bet on that game here in the great Commonwealth of Virginia because I've been telling everyone and their mom all week long Virginia first half plus the points and also Virginia plus that 6.5, I believe was the closing line right before kickoff. Scotty, I know you're the resident Hokie fan here. Do y'all still play football?
Yeah, we're probably still going to beat UVA. So
okay, I don't know about that.
At least we don't. At least we don't trample people. Hopefully, all them people that went to the hospital are okay. I guess that's what happens when you storm the field once or twice every 30 years.
Was it 18 people I think that went to the hospital yesterday? Unfortunately, in Charlotte,
Like
I was there for the last one. I know there was a lot of talk around social media. I saw some memes and stuff. Even they're like, "Hey, can you imagine a SEC team letting fans get this close to the field with no barrier to separate them from it?" You can tell these people haven't watched Virginia football. Virginia used to have like a gate at the bottom of the hill, and there used to be hedges. When they beat Florida State in 05, and I was there, we rushed the field. I fell off the goalpost trying to get up there, which those kids could not bring the goalpost down last night. I just want to point that out. They're still up there at Scott Stadium. These kids are weak now. I don't know if they're not drinking milk or what, but they couldn't get the goalpost down.
They're just dumb.
Yeah, well, it's not an engineering school, so I gotta say that. But they called it the Illustrious 11 the next day, the Cavalier Daily, the student newspaper, because 11 kids went to the hospital that day. And ever since then, Virginia never put the hedges back. And so, yeah, it is a little unique. You see some places have hills like Missouri, and I think there's one at Wake Forest, but there's usually like some sort of barrier, a moat or something, if you will. Virginia, no, you're just right there. It's the easiest place in America to rush the field, and that was a field rushing and then some. I will say that.
So they're 0 for 2 rushing the field against Florida State.
What's that?
It's like they're Jeepers Creepers. Once every 23 years, they get to come out and instead of eating people, they just trample them.
Hey, they got it right in 2019. I don't think anybody went to the hospital in 2019 when it happened there, too. So Virginia getting their 5th all-time win now against Florida State. And they kept showing the graphic during the game that, like, the winner of this game is kind of in the driver's seat getting to the ACC championship game. Let's pump the brakes a little bit there, maybe. But by the way, I gave Chandler Morris the ACC Player of the Year, and then he promptly threw a couple picks after that. But that's the Chandler Morris experience. You got to live with it, you know?
Yeah, he is frustrating as shit, but fuck, he's fun to watch.
It reminds me of oh my God, he's at UNLV right now. The quarterback last year in Virginia.
Calandria.
Yeah. Calandria, where like
he's better than Calandria.
Oh, he's a much better version, but like you have to ride that roller coaster where they'll make the amazing play, he'll scramble, he'll make the amazing throw, he's got a great arm, but then they'll make that mind-boggling interception. But you know, it's kind of, I'm not saying he's a Brett Favre, but it's kind of Brett Favre-esque where you just kind of got to live with a guy like that. And and know that you're going to get one or two of those a game. Those throws that you wish
Well,
he would never throw,
hopefully he doesn't have a daughter that plays volleyball.
or gets involved in the welfare fraud schemes or anything like that. So. All right, well, Virginia getting the win, big win there in Charlottesville last night. Let's get into some picks for this week. And Chris, you know what? Virginia got the win, so you know what? I'm gonna get my my college signing day going on here right now. Give me one. I don't bring this hat out too much here often on the show, but all right, we got the old orange and blue cap on. You know, this one's for Coach Welsh up there right now, who I met when he was recruiting. I forget the player when I was in high school. I was promptly thrown out of class that day and sent to the principal's office, and I was waiting for the principal. And who do I meet? Coach Welsh, waiting to speak to our assistant principal, who was the football coach. So that was my one interaction with him. So left a good impression. You know, you only get one chance to make a first impression. All right, but let's get into these picks. We've been making some impressions, and Chris, you and our impressions have been getting better.
Yeah, thank God.
22-20 right now in the year, Scotty, above that 500 mark.
My lead is fading faster than the Detroit Tigers.
But
it's crazy. I was telling Chris right before this. Yeah, still the wrong order. But I mean, I guess Leon just expects to be in last. But he'll be back there after this week, I'm sure. But I'm still winning. Like, I haven't had a great couple weeks, but I've probably profited a little bit. I'm just giving the wrong picks for the podcast. Thursday night football, made 3 picks on the NFL game, went 2-1. The one was the loss I gave out on the podcast. I bet on all 4 college games, went 2-2 so far. But the 2 losses were the 2 that I gave out on the podcast. So follow me on, look me up on Action Network, follow my picks there. Just fade the ones I put on the podcast until I turn it around.
If it's not on here, it didn't happen. All right. It didn't happen. I don't believe it.
That's not true.
All right, well, let's get into the picks this week, and yeah, I'll correct that graphic next week. I should be ahead of Chris, but you know, I did this 3 minutes before the show. So what are you gonna do? All right, but let's get into these picks brought to you by absolutely no one. Remember, you can sponsor this. We can get your logo in the upper right-hand corner, upper left-hand corner. We can give a full ad read, whatever you want to do. Send an email to info@letsnotdothispodcast.com. Help us, help you, help us, help you. All right, big weekend of college football, and we got a lot of games in common this week. And since we have a lot of games in common, especially Chris and I had the exact same card, I'm just going to go ahead and start with, I guess, our combined college picks here. First up, the lovely Magnolia Bowl, 3:30 ABC. You got LSU riding into Oxford, taking on Ole Miss. Rebs, 2.5-point favorites. Over under is 57.5. And before we get to the breakdown of this game, the big story this week: Lane Kiffin's daughter dating the LSU linebacker, making the hard launch of the relationship the week of the Magnolia Bowl. That is some look. Lane Kiffin talks shit, and he's very cerebral on Twitter. Maybe the apple that's far from the tree, but your daughter hard launching the relationship to the national audience the week that you're playing one of your biggest rivals. That definitely is a choice. There, Lane Kiffin was getting some flack on social media. He said to take the over in this game after this picture went up. So I don't know, but this gentleman from LSU, this linebacker, has a chance to win on and off the field this week, if you catch my drift. But yeah, Rebels, Tigers. What say you, Chris?
I went back and forth on this, and by that I mean I have no idea. I did not do any research, so I'm just gonna go with the team that I think is better. Give me LSU plus the 2.5, unless you can get me a better number somewhere. But yeah, I think is the line dropping.
Yeah, you can still get it at 2.5 in a couple places.
Okay, there. Yeah, I'll take 2.5 with LSU. I think they have a better quarterback. Better talent all around, and Lane Kiffin doesn't win huge games. So let's do that.
Okay, you're going with them. So the home team has covered 7 straight meetings between these two. Brian Kelly is 45-27-2 against the spread as a dog in his career, 6-5 outright and against the spread at LSU. Lane Kiffin 17-25-1 against the spread record in conference play since 2020. One thing to really watch here, with LSU is that quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. He's completing 69% of his passes. Really
Nice.
efficient. Yeah, nice. And then defensively, LSU's been great defensively in the red zone. The opponents have only had 3 touchdowns and 5 red zone trips there. And they've forced 8 turnovers their defense has, including 5 picks on the year. On the flip side of that, you look at Ole Miss. One of my concerns is the pass rush. They haven't really got to the quarterback. 4 sacks, but they have had 71 pressures, but they're just not completing the job there. And their run defense, it's amongst the bottom 10 nationally. They're like 120th in like rush success rate. And the red zone issues concern me with Ole Miss as well. 14 red zone trips. They've given up 9 scores with a 64% touchdown rate. So all that being said, I'm going to ride with Lane here because I got a feeling this is going to be a little bit of an offensive explosion here. So give me the over in this game. And Scotty, is there a better line anywhere than that 57.5?
Let's see here. 57 on Bet Rivers.
All right, give me that 57 there on Bet Rivers on this game here. Hey, if Lane says to take the over, I'm going to listen to the Lane train here. His daughter's dating linebackers. He got an ESPN special about his life drop this week, which I haven't watched yet. All things coming up, Lane. I'm going to trust him to go ahead and take the over, and I think this will be one of the better games of the weekend.
Yeah, I didn't put this on my card because obviously I like LSU. I have a ticket on them to win the SEC. Last couple of years, their offense has been amazing, but their defense has been terrible. And now their defense is really good, but their offense has been efficient, but I don't know, it's been a little underwhelming. So this game kind of scares me from a side point. I actually might bet the under. I know Lane Kiffin said that, but who was it, the Auburn quarterback last year or the year before that said bet the over, and then he came out and played terribly. They scored 13 points or something.
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan State. That's right.
Right. I bet on that and lost. Yeah. Never again.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like they went under this number last year, and I think LSU has a better defense and I'll say a worse offense. Still a good offense, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do in this game yet. I'm either going to bet Mississippi or the under. We'll see.
Okay. But officially, I'm on the over 57.5. Chris, where'd you go?
LSU plus 2.5.
LSU plus 2.5 there. All right. Moving over, next one on our combined card here. Rematch of that Big Ten championship game. This time not in Indianapolis on the fast track at Lucas Oil. This time in Happy Valley in beautiful State College, Pennsylvania. The Ducks and the Nittany Lions. Penn State 3.5 point favorite. Over under is 53.5. Chris, you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I did extensive research on this by not even knowing that this was a game this week. Oregon is traditionally high-powered offense. Penn State traditionally hard-nosed between the tackles. So something's got to give here. Give me the under 53.5.
Under 53.5 for Chris. Okay. Scotty, I believe you had this game on your card too.
Yes. You said right. Under 53.5.
Yeah, he went under 53.5 here. I'll tell you what, I'll go here then while you're writing that down. So Pitt State, everyone knows the stats, but they're 4-20 straight up versus top 10 teams under James Franklin, 10-14 against the spread. You want to bring that down to a smaller sample size with Drew Aller, 1-5 straight up and against the spread against top 10 teams. On the flip side of that, Oregon 11-5 against the spread versus ranked teams under Dan Lanning, 8-2 against the spread versus ranked teams since 2023. Oregon starts fast. They're averaging like 26 points in the first half. That's like good for 7th overall in the FBS. Very balanced attack. The carrying, I think I'm going to pronounce that, the Corian Moore, the receiver, can really hurt you. I really like that tight end, Kenyon Sadiq. He's got 3 red zone touchdowns this year. You'll see that guy playing in the next level very soon. He's a matchup nightmare down there. And the quarterback, I think this is the matchup of 2 quarterbacks that have a lot to prove. I think Dante Moore has a bigger upside than Drew Aller, and I feel like Drew Aller's constantly the guy that we talk about. He's good, but he's never great. He's like a good, serviceable college quarterback, but he doesn't win the big game. And I think one thing that goes in Penn State's favor here is that rushing attack. Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, they're one of the best, if not the best, 1-2 combo in the country. I think Allen may be a little bit ahead of Singleton right now from a performance standpoint so far this season. And then, even losing Tom Allen, Penn State's defense is top 3 in turnover margin, and they have a strong pass rush, and they cover well on the back end as well. I'm going to go with the under on this game here. Oregon plus the 3.5 points sounds really interesting to me. I don't know. There's a lot of guys that transferred into this program, and yeah, they're playing at a very high level at Oregon. But I don't know, some of those guys that come in from smaller places, if they've been in this environment. Penn State, whiteout at night is just different. And I think Penn State knows they can't get in a shootout with them. They want to ground and pound it. I think that's going to keep that total down. James Franklin, he always plays it close to the chest. He plays conservative in these big games. And I think he's going to do it again. Give me the under 53.5 in this game.
God damn it.
Don't worry, I'm not picking a total. But James Franklin, big games, scary bet. But I'm laying the 3.5 points with Penn State. Penn State hasn't left home yet. They're at home again. They're coming off a bye week. Oregon played last week, traveling across the country. You mentioned the run game, Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. I think they're going to be able to control the clock and have success running the ball against Oregon. We don't know if Dante Moore is that good yet. We're going to find out this week. I just think with the travel and the rest for Penn State, I think Drew Aller is going to be able to do enough in that run game. Penn State has a really good defense. I look for James Franklin and Drew Aller to show up finally for a big game and win and cover the points.
Is this officially a whiteout?
This is officially a whiteout. And I forgot to put on there, College Game Day is here, aren't they? Yeah, College Game Day is at State College, but they don't have the game. And the whole set on Game Day, actually, I just turned it on. They're all wearing white suits. It looks like Colonel Sanders' convention up there right now. But yeah, Game Day's there, but they don't have the game. NBC is a massive Big Ten game, but it's not on Big Noon kickoff, and Penn State fans are very happy about that. It's on NBC. It's just kind of weird how it's spread out across the networks like this. I think, where's Big Noon kickoff? There's Illinois this week. I think Illinois USC. Just kind of a weird one there, but
does Oregon use that UO? That looks weird.
Yeah, well, I couldn't fit Oregon on there. So University of Oregon, Also, Oregon going with the mummy duck uniforms that they're calling these. They're debuting this week. And apparently the cleats
they're gonna lose just because of that.
The cleats are supposed to glow in the dark. So
okay.
Yeah.
What next are they gonna have those LA gears that lit up when we were kids when you stepped? Yeah.
What was the other brand?
That would be kind of I'm sure they won't allow that. That would actually be pretty cool to see the football team just shoes lighting up all night.
Someone should bring that back, like LA gear. Didn't British Knights have that too? Someone should bring that back.
BKs.
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of older millennials that have money now. Well, they have credit cards now that would buy those.
Wasn't Patrick Ewing signed to BK?
I
think he was.
I think he might have been.
Early 90s. They were always the prize on one of the Nickelodeon game shows.
I just know I had the Warner Brothers, what was it, the Hakeem Olajuwon shoes, whatever they were. Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. Kanye will bring them back.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Let's not do this.
All right, let's go to another game here. Bama and Georgia. Finally, Bama comes east and goes between the hedges there at Sanford Stadium. Georgia laying the 2.5 points. This is 7:30 on ABC. Big football Saturday on ABC today. Over under is 54.5. We all three have this on our cards. Chris, I'll start with you and your extensive research.
Yeah. So Georgia has been speeding to a 3-0 start. Like what I did there. Bama got mollywopped by Florida State earlier this year, and Florida State's not that good apparently. So every sign points to taking Georgia minus the 2.5, and I'm going to zag. Give me Bama plus 2.5. Big rivalry game. They got something to prove. SEC's overrated. They're going to cannibalize each other. Let's go.
What was Georgia doing to this game?
They were speeding to a 3-0 start.
That's a sound Georgia football players are used to hearing a lot down there. I didn't have my finger down near those buttons. Well, that didn't come out right. I didn't have my finger near those buttons in time to get that going. I was so amazed at your bad dad joke there. All right. This game on my card, Georgia is undefeated, but they're 0-4 against the spread this season. They're 4-13 actually against the spread since last season. Bama's 7-3 against the spread as a dog since 2000.
How are they 0-4 if they're 3-0?
I hit the wrong button there. I put a typo. But they're winless against the spread. Damn it. Sorry, but Bama is 7-3 against the spread as a dog since 2008. Obviously, they haven't had too many opportunities to play as a dog. 4-1 against the spread versus Georgia since 2020. One thing here with Alabama, Ty Simpson has been nearly perfect. Their passing attack, they're averaging 335 yards a game, 9.5 yards an attempt. Ty Simpson has 9 touchdowns. No picks. And then the receivers with Ryan Williams and Bernard, definitely guys that can take the top off the defense. Georgia's getting it done on the other side of things. They got 10 rushing touchdowns. They're averaging over 200 yards a game on the ground. Nate Frazier and Dwight Phillips Jr., they got a great running back duo there. Here's the thing, though. Both teams are in the bottom 10 nationally in pass rush. Bama 127, Georgia 125. Georgia's secondary gave up 370 yards. Actually, it was more than that, 370 plus to Tennessee. And Bama's run defense is vulnerable to Georgia's physical rushing attack. So what does that tell me? Both of these defenses are probably going to get marched up and down the field a little bit. I think Alabama's offense is going to cut through Georgia, kind of like Sherman going through Georgia on his reign of terror there in the Civil War. Go ahead and give me the over 54.5 on this one. Don't be surprised if Bama goes between the hedges and steals this one. I like Bama plus the 2.5, but give me the over 54.5 officially. I'm all on totals this morning. I'm a totals guy. I'm feeling
moved to 53.5 just about everywhere except
53?
ESPN. Yeah.
Okay, give me that 53. I like that even better. 53 also, Georgia players can't drive at that speed limit.
Yeah. That's where the odometer starts at 55.
Yeah, I can't drive 55. Yeah. Georgia players can't drive 105. So, Scotty,
right.
What say you?
We're going to have 3 different bets on this game, so that's good. I've lost a lot of money betting Georgia against Bama over the years, mainly for my hate of Bama. So maybe I have Stockholm syndrome. Because give me Georgia minus the 2.5. I guess Ty Simpson has been looking better, but Wisconsin is terrible. So I think maybe he's a little bit overrated. He hasn't played well against any decent team. I know Florida State was week 1. Was it week 1 or week 0? I don't know. Whatever it was.
That was
first
week
game.
1.
Week 1.
Okay. Yeah. Because week 0 sucked. But yeah, he didn't look good. Obviously, it's his first game, so maybe he has gotten better. But Gunnar Stockton impressed me against Tennessee. I was kind of down on him before that. He showed up against Tennessee, was throwing darts. And yeah, I don't know that, especially after last night. I know you can't always go with that strategy, but just the way Florida State looked, kind of got manhandled at some points by UVA. And Florida State did the same thing to Bama. So, yeah, I don't know. The trenches should be interesting. I think UGA might have a, looking at the graphic, Georgia might have a slight advantage there. I just think they're the better team. They're at home. They got revenge on the mind. They got to be able to beat Bama. If they can't beat them at home this year, they haven't played Bama at home in a while either, which is weird. But if not now, then when? I'm going to die on this hill, I guess, like Chris does with the Browns. Give me Georgia minus the 2.5.
Okay. Dogs minus the 2.5. Yeah, and you're right. I mean, they were on opposite sides of the SEC, one in the East and one in the West. And then, you have expansion, which they played even less. Now the division's broken up. Now maybe they'll play a little bit more, hopefully. But yeah, you would two teams in the same conference, and you can go entire graduating classes without Bama having to come east and play between the hedges. That's the one downfall of conference expansion. You don't get things like that sometimes, but should be a great one. Between the hedges.
Yeah, I was debating on Georgia and the over. The public is heavy on both, so that's kind of scary. But let's go Bulldogs.
Go Dogs. Who's that coming down the track? It's the Mean Machine in red and black. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, I think so. Only because McAfee did the rug pull.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. And then you got that one hillbilly Georgia fan that paints the bulldog on top of his head. But what are you going to do? We're college town, that Athens, Georgia. Very, very eclectic, though. All right, moving over, Scotty. You got one more game on your card. Chris and I had all the same games. You got one additional one. You're going with a old school Big Ten matchup, and one of the few old school Big Ten matchups that's a rivalry that doesn't have a trophy that they play for. Most of these Big Ten schools, play for a can of chewing tobacco or something. There's no rivalry trophy in this game. I don't know. But you got Indiana and their high-powered offense, the Hoosiers, heading to Iowa City, taking on the 3-1 Hawkeyes. Indiana laying 8.5. Am I crazy, or did this jump a lot? I feel like it was 6.5 yesterday, and it went to 8.5 this morning when I checked it.
I think you might be mistaken.
Okay, I saw it when I looked at it yesterday, and I built the first set of these graphics early today. I kid you not, it was at 6.5. Updated again this morning, like 45 minutes before the show. It moved to 8.5 on the ESPN bet. But anywho, over under 47.5, 3:30 on Peacock. Good Peacock day for football today as well. What say you here, Scotty?
Yeah, Indiana coming off just a complete beatdown of Illinois. And Coach Cignetti still talking shit on Illinois after the game, saying this game here would be a much tougher test than the guys we just played, is what he said. So that was pretty funny. But I think Cignetti is right. It's going to be a much tougher test. I said that Illinois team was overrated from the get-go. They should not have been a top 10 team at all. That's evident. What are they, like 22 now? Or almost unranked after one loss. So not like Notre Dame, who can lose as many games as they want and still be ranked.
Yeah, but you can't get 63 dropped on you. I think that was, old, Kurt smoking that Cignetti pack, twisting the knife a little bit there.
Oh, so we're actually going by deficit now? We're not just looking at win-loss and moving teams up and down? Okay.
I'm just saying, when you give up that many points, in a big time game, it doesn't look good for you. They are lucky they stayed in the top 25. Illinois 23 this week.
Right. Yeah, there's actually a 9.5 on FanDuel for Iowa right now. I'm taking that. Going to be a much tougher game. Their quarterback for Iowa is not great, but he's improving. He's looking a little better, and he's a runner. Yeah. From one of the Dakotas. I always forget which one.
South Dakota State. He was a jackrabbit.
There you go. But, much tougher game here. I think it's supposed to be pretty windy, so we might see more of a grinder, which favors Iowa. They want to run the ball, play slow. And, Indiana on the road after that huge win, feeling good about themselves. Now they got a tough matchup. Iowa could pull off the upset. I still think Indiana wins a close one. But, yeah, give me Iowa plus the 9.5 on FanDuel.
That's not a bad number. I don't hate that. You know what's interesting? Indiana is 4-0. And when I was looking for pictures for this graphic, of course, that's their starting quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, there in his first year in Bloomington after transferring over from Cal. I couldn't find a picture of him in a game action in a white uniform. And then it dawned on me that this is Indiana's first road game of the year. The Hoosiers are 4-0, and they have not left the state of Indiana. They had a blowout. Well, they struggled with Old Dominion in week 1, 27-14, then blew out Kennesaw State, dropped 73 on Indiana State, those mighty Sycamores, and then 63 last week at home against Illinois. So this is their first road game. I don't know why I feel that's so weird through, game 5, and they're finally going on the road.
Penn State's at home this week, and they still haven't played a road game.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. The Big Ten scheduling is weird, man.
I don't know if it's Big Ten. It's just teams aren't going to go anywhere if they don't have to now.
Yeah, that's very true. So I'm intrigued to see how he handles this environment. Obviously, being a starting quarterback at Cal, but they haven't had to go somewhere like Iowa City right now. That place can be a zoo. He's lucky this isn't a night game, because Iowa City at night as a ranked team is never a place you want to go to. That Iowa defense not as what's the word I'm looking for? Not as deadly, I guess you could say. I was looking for something medical wise, potent maybe, as it was in previous years. But I think Indiana gets this win. I didn't put this on my card because I just don't know what to make of this line, but I kind of agree with you. I feel like Iowa covers, maybe a backdoor cover, but I think this will be a lot closer than a lot of people think.
All right.
Chris, any thoughts? Do you know that both of these?
Yeah, usually this is your game.
I know, but Indiana can score, and I would take the under, but I think Indiana might score that many points by themselves. So I am not touching this game with the 10-foot pole.
That's what women say to you all the time.
Correct.
All right. Moving over to a game I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Let's switch over to the National Football League. Chris, you have an absolutely gross one on your card right now. Saints and the Bills. Nolans 0-3, Buffalo 3-0. You don't see spreads this big in the NFL usually. 14.5. Buffalo is laying there in the Orchard Park. Over under is 47.5. Chris, do you believe in the Fighting Spencer Rattlers this week?
Absolutely not. But 15 points is a lot to cover, so I am going with the over. I think Buffalo can score 40 on their own. New Orleans could probably fall into a touchdown somewhere, maybe kick a field goal. So give me the over, 47.5.
I got absolutely nothing on this game. I would just, as a contrarian, I think I would go under just because I think Buffalo might take the foot off the gas. This isn't a game you need to run Josh Allen a lot and do a lot of stuff. Get up comfortably and coast. I don't think New Orleans is going to do anything whatsoever. I could see this being like, a 30-3 game or something like that. This is just gross. Red Zone's going to be on this game like 12 minutes total combined over the course of the broadcast, maybe. Yeah, Scotty, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not touching that side or a number. I'll find a prop bet to roll with. Maybe Kamara's receiving yards or something like that. Yeah. This one should be ugly. Buffalo's going to destroy them.
Hey, if you got a free bet, maybe just toss it on the Saints money line. Stranger things have happened. If you want to waste a $5 free bet or something.
That's true. Carolina did blank Atlanta last week.
All right, moving over to the next one on your card here. I think we all have this game, don't we?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. We got the Eagles and the Bucks. Sunday, 1:00 on Fox. Both teams 3-0. Philadelphia laying the 3.5 there in the Sunshine State. Over under is 43.5. Chris, your game on your card here. I'll let you go first then.
Yeah, we got Triple B, Big Balls Baker, at home against Philadelphia. I actually was going back and forth on this one when I picked it. I think this is going to be a very tight, very good defensive struggle. How many tush pushes can Philadelphia get going here? It's going to eat up a lot of clock. Give me the under 43.5.
Under 43.5 for Chris on this one.
It's
All right.
44.5 at most places.
Oh, even better. Give me
There
that.
you go.
Well, at a couple places. It is coming down, but still a 44.5 out there. DraftKings and somebody else. Yeah.
Perfect. Scotty, you want to go next on this one then?
Yeah, I hate to agree with Chris, and hopefully you're not on the same bet, Leon, but the public has actually been heavy on the over, and the line keeps coming down. So that tells you either Vegas really likes this number or the smart money is coming in on the under. Either way, I like that play. I'm going to take the under 44.5. Both offenses have kind of been struggling. Both teams had a little lucky to both be 3-0. Both teams are outside the top 20 in yards per play. And I think both defenses are pretty good. The Eagles able to hold the Rams to all those field goals last week and pull off that ridiculous cover and win at the end. Still pissed off about that. But yeah, I see this being kind of more of a grinder than people think and close physical matchup. Give me the under 44.5. Oh yeah, no Mike Evans too. So
yeah. All right. So Philadelphia 1-3 in Tampa under Nick Sirianni. Maybe it's the Florida heat. It's supposed to be about 90 or so down there around kickoff. Last time I saw the weather with like a 68% humidity forecast. Absolutely gross weather. You're going to sweat your balls off down there. The Eagles did fly in yesterday to try to acclimate to that a little bit better. Usually NFL teams come into town on a Saturday. I'm not sure how much one day is going to do. Jalen Hurts 1-4 all time versus the Bucs, including the playoffs, is his most losses versus any team. Tampa Bay, very good run defense, and you're going to need that when you're facing Saquon Barkley. Tampa also has been the best team against the spread as an underdog since 2023 with Baker Mayfield, 15-6 against the spread, 10-11 outright. One thing I'm looking for here, and I'm trying to get the number on this. I put it into a parlay earlier that I just want to see. But I actually might go with my very first ever prop on this show here. And because of Tampa's run defense is so good, Jalen Hurts has only eclipsed 200 yards passing once. That was against the Rams last week. On DraftKings right now, I can get Jalen Hurts over 200 yards passing at plus 117. He's averaging 159.7. With Tampa's run defense being as stout as it is, I think that's going to force Philadelphia to go off script a little bit, try to throw that ball a little bit, and especially with those two receivers that they have. There's no reason that passing attack shouldn't be better. Give me Jalen Hurts over 200 yards passing plus 117 on DraftKings right now.
All right.
You didn't see that one coming, did you?
Hope it loses.
All right. Next up here, little Rust Belt showdown where dreams go to die. Detroit and Cleveland, 1 o'clock on Fox. Detroit laying 10.5 at home against the mighty Joe Flacco's over under 44.5. What say you, Chris? And will the winner of this game get jobs back to their cities?
No comment.
I'm already writing this one down, Chris.
Say what?
So I'm already writing your bet down for this one. Browns plus 10.
You don't even know what it is.
Sure I do.
It's not where I was originally going to go, but if you're going to push me, yeah, give me the Browns plus the 10.5. That's a big number.
No, make your bet. So it's actually down. Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting you, but it's down to 10 now.
Yeah, give me 10. I'll take 10.
Okay.
The Browns, good team. Detroit looked great last week. They're going to be – shut the fuck up, man. They're coming down off a high. The Browns defense is very, very, very good. Joe Flacco, solid. It's going to be close. Detroit probably wins, but Cleveland will cover 10 points.
Is that where you were going originally?
Yeah, it was.
Was it? Okay. Because actually it's starting to drop. It's at 9.5 some places. So money must be coming in on the Browns.
I'm a fucking genius. Okay.
I might go to under on that or look at a prop.
I'm staying far away from this one. When I was looking at the NFL card this week, I had just absolutely no thoughts on this. The only thought I will say, as I switch to my third hat of the broadcast, gotta go back in the pack now as we get ready to beat Virginia Tech this afternoon. But one thing I will say, Joe Flacco, and this is going to sound controversial, it's going to sound stupid. I know he's a legendary Raven. He's got a Super Bowl ring as a Raven, got that big contract as a Raven. Why in my mind now, when I think Joe Flacco, I think Browns now. I just see him, and he just fits being a Cleveland Brown. I feel like they've embraced him in that city, like they love him. A guy they vilified and hated for so long when he was with a division rival. I just feel like he fits there. Like it doesn't even look weird to see him in that uniform. That's my thought on this game.
I guess because you think of the Browns, it's like even when the Browns are good, you're like, they're still the Browns. It's kind of Joe Flacco. Even when he's playing well, you're like, he's still Joe Flacco. Even when he won a Super Bowl, you're like, still like he's just Joe Flacco. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Cleveland, you got that one nice stretch of restaurants down by Quicken Loans Arena, but your river caught on fire like several times, and you go to East Cleveland and you might die. Just put it out there. Just put it out there. I don't know. If I had to make a pick on this game, I'd probably go under, but I'm staying far away from this one. All right, Scotty, you want to go with your NFL picks next year?
Sure. Why not?
All right. We already did Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Speaking of Joe Flacco, one of his old pit stops, the Indianapolis Colts on the road galloping into LA to take on the Rams, 4:05 on Fox. Rams laying the 3.5 over under 49.5. What say you?
Yeah, the Rams, one of the worst beats you can get. I bet them on the show last week. So why not try it again? Bet them plus 3.5 last week. Taking that 3.5 to cover this week. Daniel Jones, I think this might be his week to turn back into a pumpkin. He's not that guy. We're going to see that eventually. Colts are 3-0, but the three teams they have beat have a combined 1 win. So not the best competition. Got a little lucky against the Broncos with that win, and then they beat the Titans and the Dolphins. So 2 of the worst teams in the league. I just think the Rams are at home, pissed off. The much better team, in my opinion. I think just that offense with the run game and the receivers they have and Matt Stafford is going to be too much for the Colts, who, let's face it, they have Jonathan Taylor and a bunch of guys that have been playing better than what they really are. I think their luck starts to run out here, and they are who they are. So, and it's not a 3-0 team. So I think, Rams are just much better at home. They're mad. They covered a 3.5.
I concur with everything you just said. That's all I got. Chris, any thoughts?
I think Daniel Jones is playing out of his mind.
Exactly.
Stafford is his back is being held together with duct tape. I think the Colts keep it rolling. Give me the Colts plus the points.
Ooh. Should have put that on your card. You felt a little confident.
Should have, but
yeah.
I'll bet it. I'll make some money.
Yeah. All right, rounding out Scotty's NFL slate here, we got a gross one. Bears, Raiders. Caleb Williams and the boys heading to Vegas, taking on the Raiders. I see LA. Las Vegas laying 1.5 over under 48.5, 425 on CBS. Chris?
It's not my game.
No, it's 425 on CBS, America's Most Watched Network.
Dude, I'm too tired for that shit.
I was wondering why you were going to him too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim Nance.
You got it.
But yeah, I picked the Bears in my underdog parlay last week, and that hit. But they were at home against Dallas. Dallas's defense is so bad that Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards and then got benched a week later in a close game against the Chiefs. That's how bad Dallas's defense is. I just think people want the Bears to be good because they haven't been good in so long. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer. Caleb Williams, number 1 pick. The offense has been improved even without the Dallas game. But I just don't think they are there yet. And now they're traveling to Vegas. Maybe they have a little too much fun in Vegas today. Who knows? But, yeah, and, Marcus Mariota beat the shit out of the Raiders last week, so they're probably a little pissed off. Bears feeling too good about themselves. Give me the Bears at home. This is a pick 'em on MGM right now. So I'll take just Raiders money line and -110 on MGM. Yeah, I just think these are. I think Genty finally has his coming out party. The Bears' run defense isn't that great. I think Geno does enough, and Max Crosby gets in Caleb Williams' face and maybe rattles him a little bit. Give me the Raiders.
Another game I stayed far away from. You know me, I love a good kicking prop. Haven't looked at those yet. If I play anything on this, it might be a field goal prop or something, but I'm staying far away from this. I wish we could do punting props because we actually have 2 pretty decent punters in this game, especially AJ Cole from the Raiders. They need to make punting bets. Give me punts inside the 10 or give me net yards or something. I want to bet on punters because I would make some money on AJ Cole of the Raiders, one of the best in the league. But yeah, I'm staying far away from this game.
That just means they're not very good. If somebody says you have a really good punter, that means you're not good.
Hey,
we have a good punter. The Commanders have a really good punter, but nobody has talked about them in 2 years because we're decent now. But 2 years ago, it was Tress Way, All-Pro, NFL punter. He was snubbed from the All-Pro team, and he would always get brought up. And now nobody talks about him.
Hey, there's
one thing had 12 last year, so
yeah.
One thing I will say about the Raiders, you can always count on the Raiders having a super fast wide receiver that really can't catch. You can always count on them having a couple malcontents that this is literally their last stop. It's either Raiders or prison. And you can always count on them having good special teams. We remember all of us, in our livelihoods growing up with Leckler and Janikowski and stuff. They always have good special teams, always, and with the Raiders.
Special teams can be eliminated from football.
What's that?
So what he said? Special teams should be eliminated.
No, it's hey. I will say this: I don't like the optics, the way that the new goofy-looking kickoff thing with the landing zone looks. But it has brought the kick return back into the league. It's now not just a formality with a touchback. Now you actually have a play.
Not only that, you have to have it brings the kicker skill more into play. We saw Thursday night, the kickoff rule basically gave the game to Seattle at the end there because he didn't land the ball in the landing zone, so they got it at the 40. Then one big play and they're in field goal range. The only thing I don't like about the kickoff rule is it gets rid of the surprise onside kick.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I don't like about it. But
I do like
other than that, it's fine.
I do like the Sean Payton post halftime Super Bowl surprise onside kick. I do like that bad boy there. But I will say this too. I like also it eliminates it gives a propensity for stupid plays to happen. We see the Steelers, they don't know what a live ball is and what's not on a kickoff. And also you get some teams like the Panthers doing some wonky stuff where that, I forget what they call it, but they have a weird, interesting way of putting spin and kicking a kind of a knuckleball thing that's hard to pick up. And it's a strategy that's actually working for them. I think Mike Bravel said that he watched an hour's worth of video on it the other day trying to get ready for it. So it adds another dimension. It's not just a foregone conclusion. But this has been my soapbox on special teams.
Yeah, get rid of it. They're not real football players.
Well, also, because the kickers have such big legs now, they can just boot it through the end zone whenever they want, most of them. So it's why even have a kickoff if,
Yeah, we saw them in Virginia, Florida.
What?
They got such big legs now.
Oh, I don't know where that is. Oh man, I lost that.
Did you take it off? Oh, you
No,
didn't pull it over.
yeah, I forgot to pull it over to that one.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah, yeah. All right, but moving over from special teams, let's go over to my National Football League card here. We've already hit Philadelphia and Tampa Bay. Micah Parsons, the return to Dallas on Sunday. That's not 1:00 on Fox. I fucked that up. Sunday Night Football, I'll just leave it up there. Sunday Night Football. Damn it, I thought I had fixed that.
Did you change hats for a third time?
Yeah, I did it earlier. It's not Sunday Night Football, 1:00 on Fox. It's NBC late night, but Green Bay laying 6.5, over under 46.5. Damn it. That's what you get when you copy paste. You know, all you got to do is fix it. But anyway, let me get into it. Micah Parsons making this return trip back to Dallas. Still has his suite, by the way. That became a story this week.
No refunds.
No refunds. His suite will be packed out there. No refunds there. So that'll be interesting to see a bunch of green and gold in that suite. I think you'll see a bunch of green and gold in that crowd. Remember when was it AT&T Stadium or Cowboy Stadium, whatever it is now, when it first opened, it was getting taken over by Packer fans. We see 49er fans taken over before. I think you have a team that was, obviously a declining popularity. It's still massive, but not like they once were. 80s to 90s. They haven't been good for a really long time. Green Bay's a national fan base. They travel. There's people all over the place that are Packer fans. They're going to show up. A lot of them are going to be there. You're going to see a lot of green and gold, maybe number 1 jerseys, fresh new Micah Parsons jerseys in that stadium there. Green Bay laying the 6.5, like I said. I have a couple of concerns about Green Bay's offensive line. I know there was the tackle, Zach Tom. He's dealing with the oblique and the guard on the left side as well. Aaron Banks has a groin. They're both questionable. So I'm a little concerned about that left side of the line. They gave up a lot of pressure against Cleveland last week. They were pressured at a 42% rate. And then, Elton Jenkins, he's not been playing that great. So I'm a little concerned about the cohesiveness of that Packers offensive line. Good thing for them is Micah Parsons is on their sideline and not on Dallas's sideline now. So that's good. How Dallas gets pressured to Micah Parsons, Jordan Love is going to be a key thing in this game for me. Also, Green Bay's wide receivers with Dobbs and Golden, they both had over 65 yards plus receiving. Oh, no, I mixed up my stats. Sorry, I jumbled my notes. Never mind.
Get to the point.
Dallas' secondary isn't good. Green Bay's receivers, I feel, have an opportunity to exploit things. Give me Green Bay minus a 6.5. Sorry, I copy and pasted my notes, and I got things jumbled up there.
Yeah. Let's see if that's still the best number. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm staying away from the side because I feel like Dallas might be able to cover this one. I'll probably end up betting the under. There's still a 47.5 out there. Jerry Jones still talking shit about Micah Parsons. So he's going to come out on fire, I think. I think both teams probably run the ball a lot, run the clock down. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably bet the under.
Okay.
I got a special bet for this. It's UVA weekend. Give me Dontavian Wicks anytime touchdown.
Ooh, Dontavian Wicks. I don't hate that against that Dallas secondary. They do like to stretch it to him. All right. So yeah, give me Green Bay minus the points there. Lastly, Monday Night Football. Absolutely gross game. Loser leaves town. No, not so much. Aaron Glenn's in his first year. You got to give him some time there with the Jets. But Jets and the Dolphins, somebody's going to get their first win unless they tie. 7:15 on ESPN. Of course, there's a Monday Night Football doubleheader this week. Miami laying the 2.5 over under 44.5. One thing here, real quick, on this game, teams that have not forced a turnover this year: Washington, the Jets, and the Dolphins. So you think someone's going to get a turnover in this game, you would figure, especially with Tua playing quarterback, someone's going to get a turnover. Justin Fields making his return back to the lineup for the New York Football Jets there. This game is befuddling. On Brees Hall's been struggling for the Jets. He's averaging just like 2.6 yards per carry over the last couple of games. That could give way to Braylon Allen. He's got like 5.1 yards a pop. You could see his touches. Braylon Allen. I always pronounce his name wrong. Yeah. You could see his touches increase. I always pronounce his name wrong. I'm sorry. Sorry, guy.
No, you added your name at the end.
Oh, all good.
Yeah.
Smart people are named Leon. Yeah. Jets in prime time, they are 22-33 against the spread in prime time going back to 05, 5-13 against the spread in prime time going back to 2019. Darren Waller expected to make his season debut for Miami. We'll see how much he has in the tank. But hey, if they get into the red zone, remember he's 6'6", 238. That's a big size target down there. Maybe a prop on the touchdown for him, something to look at. And the Jets play a lot of man. Could be an opportunity for Tyreek Hill with that, explosive speed to get behind someone to get a touchdown. This game is just absolutely gross. Give me the under 45.5. I could easily see this being like a 17-10 snoozer. And Miami wearing their new rivalries uniform. That's in the picture there with Jalen Phillips. Actually, it's one of the few that actually look good.
Not bad.
Anyone got anything on this?
I was trying to see if Kelsey Plum's team was still in the playoffs. I was gonna say if she gets more points, then Darren Waller gets yards.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where you were going with that. I was like, what?
But they are not in the playoffs, so. Jets are going to win. Miami's in shambles.
I'm on the Jets
playing a quarterback. Here.
Yeah.
If the Jets come out of South Florida with this win, I mean, McDaniel's got to get canned, right?
Yeah. It's a foregone conclusion.
Who do they play next?
I mean, they lost to Buffalo. We saw them on Thursday night, but they actually had a decent showing. They were in that game. That Tua late interception is really what doomed them. But, I know it's not like college football. We say, see, they're turning things around, maybe whatever. But I don't know. They gave a decent showing against one of the best teams in the league there. Maybe you don't pull the trigger there. But if you lose at home, a nationally televised game on Monday night to this Jets team, you drop to 0-4, you got to pull the plug.
The only reason why I would say no is because it's Monday night, a shorter week to prepare. But yeah, they have going to Carolina next week. I don't know. If not this week, then whenever their next loss is, I think he'll be gone. Unless they go on a run out of nowhere, but I don't see it.
Yeah. You mentioned the preparation aspect. I mean, they've had a little bit of time. The last time we saw them was last Thursday. So they've had a little bit of extra
no, I mean, as far as firing a coach, usually do that on a short week. Yeah. There's only 1 day difference. So
yeah,
I guess it depends on how they lose. If they lose, how mad is Tyreek Hill on the sideline?
You know what? How when NBC had hockey, they would do
keep the women's staffers away from him.
Oh, jeez. The comments, Chris Green, are not those of the Let's Not Do This podcast or his subsidiaries. But
what was your bet?
I'm going under here.
Okay.
But you know how when NBC had hockey, they would do the Star Cam. It would be like the Crosby Cam or the Ovechkin Cam, and they would literally have a camera that you could just stream all game watching them, even when they were on the bench during their shift. I would just like to see a camera fixated on Tyreek Hill for this entire game, especially if they get behind, especially if they lose. He may melt it. He may just fight everybody. He might fight Flipper.
He might. They need to trade him. What are they waiting for? Also, DraftKings has this at 45.5. So.
Oh, nice.
Perfect. Yeah, give me that under. There we go. And you mentioned firing your coach on a short week. We are not a soccer podcast, but my beloved West Ham United fired their manager.
Christ. Keep it moving.
I'll just say it. They fired their manager and the whole coaching staff this morning. They have a game Monday afternoon against Everton. So different sports, but they could fire the whole staff. I don't know who's coaching the team, on Monday. We might
Does
be.
Does it matter?
Ted Lasso.
All they do is fucking substitute. They're just as bad as worthless as fucking baseball managers.
The Jets could probably beat West Ham right now anyway. They're 19th in the Premier League, but we won't talk about that right now. But yeah,
how's our Caledonian Braves doing?
I haven't checked. They're in the Scottish Cup right now. I have not checked that yet. Yeah, but yeah, give me the under 45 and a half. I think you said now.
Yeah,
yep.
Out there, perfect. Yeah, give me that. All right. Anybody got any thoughts on this?
Nope. I got to pee though, so let's wrap it up.
Well, I just gave my thoughts, and we're gonna be talking about it in a second, anyways. So
yeah, intriguing, compelling stuff there, Chris. All right, I put this in on DraftKings yesterday. Checked the odds beforehand, so we should be good here on our underdog parlay. That is Scotty's beloved family dog, Buster. There, he's hungry. We got to feed Buster. Let's give him some food here. So let's see what we can put together for our underdog parlay this week. UCF plus 180. That is me this week. UCF on the road going to Bill Snyder Family Stadium, taking on K-State. K-State is a 6-point favorite. This feels like wrong team is favored here. UCF, they've 3-0. They've covered the spread in their last 2 games, including that 34-9 win over Carolina when they were a 7-point favorite there. K-State's lost 2 straight, dropping games to Army and Arizona. And we saw how good Army looked against East Carolina on Thursday night. And they're also winless against the spread this season, K-State. One thing is UCF's defense, they're rising. They're 25th in run defense per PFF. They're allowing a little less than like 3.4 yards carry with 22 tackles for losses. I'm really just worried about K-State. I think a lot of people bought high on K-State this year, and they've been trying to will K-State into being a team that they're just not. I don't know if it's vibes. I don't know if it's what, but they're just not that team. And I think this is the last time for a while you're going to see this team favored. I think I heard on a couple podcasts yesterday, some of the books had their win total this year at like 4 wins now. You give me a chance for UCF to go in and get a win here as a road dog. I'm going to take it at plus 180 right now on BetMGM. So give me the Knights.
All right.
I
haven't looked into that game yet, but
next up here we got the Fighting Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs plus 125. Who's got that?
That's me. Yeah, Chiefs at home against the Ravens. Patrick Mahomes owns Lamar Jackson, so both teams are looking terrible. Let's go.
Well, this isn't this isn't a playoff.
That game is 1-3.
Yeah, this isn't a playoff game though. Lamar might actually get them now, because it's a regular season game.
It's fine. Defense on Baltimore is not good. This might be the Chiefs' offensive breakout game. Fingers crossed. Let's make some money.
All right, Kansas City plus 125 there. And Scotty, you're rounding things out with the JETS, Jets.
Yeah, kind of going with last week's strategy. The Cowboys may never be favored again. Same with the Dolphins. Dolphins, anytime they're a favorite, just pick the underdog. They should be on here automatically. Yeah, go Jets.
All right, so we got UCF, we got the Chiefs, we got the Jets. Put those together, BetMGM, that gives you $13.17 for a parlay there. Scotty, if you go into your wallet and get a crisp $10 bill, Chris is still waiting to get one of those, and you bet that on this game, what do you win?
Did you say 10 or 100?
10.
You would win $131.70.
Ooh, what if you did 100?
$1,317.
Ooh, okay. So go ahead, put some money on that. Plus your money back. So we got UCF,
feed Buster,
the Chiefs, and the Jets.
Yes,
we got to feed Buster there. So you can follow along on the show each week and get those picks. And Chris, I know you want to get out of here real quick. I just want to mention NASCAR tomorrow at Kansas there, the Hollywood Casino presented by ESPN Bet 400 there, 3:00 on USA. I gave my picks out earlier in the week on the Getting Loose with Leon podcast, but I will give you my long shot. You'll have to listen to the show for the rest. Odds may have changed, but as of Thursday evening when I did the show, I got this at plus 2,200 on BetMGM. Joey Logano. This track at Kansas, especially late. We saw it in the Truck Series race last night. Always interesting finishes. Joey Logano's a guy always hangs around. You never know what's going to happen toward the end of the race. Next thing you know, he's up there in the top 5. So a little late chaos could see him come away with a win. You can get the rest of those on the Getting Loose with Leon podcast there. And then make sure to join us back here Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. for the Let's Not Do This podcast. Final thoughts, guys?
My ring light died. That's how we know we went too long.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, boys, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And
Ty Johnson, go back and watch the VOD. We got all our picks up on there. Watch it when we repost.
There we go. Thank you, Ty Johnson there. All right.
Oh, yeah. And take Arizona with the points.
Yeah, Arizona at home.
Go Cats.
Well, I think Arizona's on the road, but still, Iowa State
yeah,
shouldn't be
they're
big favorites against anybody. So
yeah, there are names, but yeah, I like that.
All right, cool.
All right, go Cats. We'll see you guys. Go
Yes,
Pack.
sir.
Virginia Tech sucks. We'll see you next week.
Wahoo!